Assalamu alaikum. I will try in this video to speak slowly, little bit slow. Not the same in the video number 1. The others, or the second part in this chapter is supply theory. To study or to explain or to understand the first effect on supply, you have to put your mind that you are a seller, you are a producer and want to get maximum profit. The objective of the firm is to maximize its profit. So put in mind that you are a seller and want to maximize your profit. Profit equals to total revenue minus total cost. So we have to, it's better to, for example, it's better to maximize your profit. You have to maximize total revenue or to minimize your total cost. Put in your mind. First, we here study the market supply amount that all firms plan or ready to supply at different prices when other factors are constant. Again, market supply can be defined as amount that firms ready to supply at different prices when other factors are constant. Many factors affect on one supply. First is price of the same good. If price increases, this will lead to increase your total revenue as a supplier. So increase your total profit. So it's better for you to increase your supply to get more profit. So both relationship. Higher price of the good, more supply. Why? To get more profit. If price increases, total revenue will increase, so total profit will increase, so the firm will be encouraged to increase its supply. So you as a supplier, you will increase your supply to get more profit. Second is expected future price. If you expect the price of your good will be more in the future, so now you will decrease your supply to increase it in the future, because in the future you will get more profit because price will increase in the future. So now you will decrease your supply to increase it in the future. Negative relationship between expected price in the future and your current supply. Negative. Technology. Third one. Technology will lead to increased profit. So technology will lead to either increase total revenue or decrease total cost. So both of them will lead to increased profit. So if you work in the field that technology will be advanced, so you expect higher or more profit, higher profit rate or more profit. So technology means more supply. You will supply more of the good because you will get more profits because you have advanced technology in the field of your work. Fourth is price of resources. You are a seller, so you are a producer, so you have to buy inputs and you have to pay payments for these inputs. So if the price of inputs increases, so your production cost will increase, so your profit will decrease. So if price of resources of inputs increases, your supply will decrease. It's better for you to decrease your supply to decrease your costs, to decrease your profit. So to avoid the reduction in your profit. If price of resources increases, so total cost will increase, so profit will decrease. So it's better for you as a seller to decrease your supply to avoid more reduction in your profit. Negative. Number of suppliers. If we speak about market supply, so more suppliers, more firms, more supply. One supply will increase. Weather condition, this for agricultural products. Supply of agricultural products depends on weather conditions. Price of other goods. Here we differentiate between substitutes and complements. In demand theory, substitutes means the consumer can consume one of them. Here, nearly the same, but substitutes in production in supply means the producer can produce one of them by using the same production line, the same inputs. So the producer can produce red pen or blue pen by nearly the same production line, only the color changed. Okay, so red pen and the black pen or blue pen are substitutes in production. Why? Because the producer can produce this one or that one by using nearly the same inputs. If the price of blue pen increases, so blue pen becomes more profitable than red one. So the producer will produce more from red pen and decrease production from the blue pen. So there is negative relationship. If we have two goods A and B, both are substitutes in production. If price of good A increases, so good A becomes more profitable than good B for the producer. So it's better for producer to produce more from good A and reduce production from good B. So if good B has higher price, production supply from good B will decrease. Negative relationship. Again, put in your mind that we try to find the relationship between price of a good and supply of the substitute good, not the relationship between two prices, not the relationship between two supply. We try to find the relationship between price of a good and supply of the substitute good. If price of a good increases, supply of the substitute good will decrease. Complements in production nearly the same in consumption. In consumption, complements means the consumer should consume both of them. Here the same. Supplier, firm, or producer should produce both of them. For example, the pen and its cover. The producer should produce the pen and its cover together. So if the price of the pen increases, so the pen becomes more profitable, so the producer will increase production from the pen and should produce more from the cover. Positive relationship. If the price of the good A will increase, okay, so supply from complementary good will increase as well. Positive. Substitutes in supply, negative, but substitutes in demand, positive, opposite. Complements in supply, positive, but complements in demand, negative. Both in your mind. Now, all of these facts affect on quantity supplied together at the same time. It's better for us. We should study, find the effects of all of these facts together at the same time on quantity supply. But we cannot do this one. We can do it in chapter 5 or in ECON 441 if we have a regression analysis. But supply theory focuses on the relationship between price of a good and its quantity supplied, assuming the other factors are constant. So we will study the relationship between price of a good and its quantity supplied, assuming the facts number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6a, number 7 substitutes and comments are constant, remain the same, are unchanged. We will study the relationship between price of a good and its quantity supplied when other factors are constant. We will study this by using equation. So we have supply equation, quantity supplied function of price of the same good, expected price in the future, technology, number of producers, whether price of substitutes, price of complements, price of inputs, all of these facts. But as I said, supply theory focuses on the relationship between quantity supplied and the price. So we can rewrite this equation to be quantity supplied function of price, ceteris paribus, or when other facts are constant. We can put this in first degree equation, quantity supplied C plus D price. Here we have positive relationship. In demand theory, we have negative relationship. Why? Because the relationship between price and the quantity demanded is negative. But here we have positive sign in the equation of the supply. Why? Because the relationship between price and the quantity supplied is positive. Positive in supply equation, negative in demand equation. We can use any numbers. So this is supply equation. Supply law, demand law, there maybe we forgot it. Demand law means the relationship between price and the quantity demand is negative. Demand law states the negative relationship between price and the quantity demanded when other facts are remain the same. Supply law states means states the positive relationship between price and the quantity supplied when other facts are constant. Just two words are different. Demand law states the negative, the first one, negative relationship between price and the quantity demand. Quantity is the second word. The states the negative relationship between price and the quantity demanded when other facts are remain the same. Supply law states the positive relationship between price and the quantity supplied. Second word, quantity supplied when other facts are remain the same. We can use supply schedule. Price decreases from 120 to 100. So quantity supplied should decrease in the same direction. The relationship between price and quantity supplied is positive. So when price decreases, quantity supplied should decrease. Why? Because if price decreases, profit will decrease. So it's better for the producer to decrease supply, to decrease losses, to decrease or to avoid more reduction in profit. This supply schedule reflects the negative positive relationship between price and the quantity supplied. Using this data, we can draw this curve. This curve is supply curve, and this curve is upward sloping curve. Demand curve is downward sloping curve because the relationship there between price and quantity demand was negative, but here upward. Why? Because the relationship between price and the quantity supplied is positive. So if we have positive relationship between the two variables on the two axes, so the curve must be upward. Okay, so demand curve downward, supply curve upward. Now we differentiate between supply and quantity supplied, the same as demand theory. Supply means all amounts firms plan to supply at all different prices, represented by the whole supply schedule and the whole supply curve. Whereas quantity supplied is just one amount at a certain price, represented by just one line, one row in supply schedule and one point on supply curve. Difference between change in supply and change in quantity supplied. Change in quantity supplied returning back to change in the price of the same good. So we move from one row to another one in the same schedule, and from one point to another point on the same supply curve. But change in supply means the other facts, one of the other facts may be expected price, may be price of inputs, may be technology state, may be number of consumers, number of producers, maybe price of substitutes, maybe price of components. One of them changes will lead to change in supply, will lead to change in all amounts at the same prices. So this will lead to change in supply and leads to change the whole table, and the curve will shift to the right if we have increase in supply, or to the left if we have decrease in supply. I will show this. So this point is quantity supplied, but the whole curve is supply. The whole curve is all amounts at all different prices represented by the whole curve. But quantity supplied, just one amount at one price. Change in quantity supplied, if we move from one point to another on the same curve, up or down, this means change in quantity supply. The reason is change in price on the vertical axis. If price increases or decreases, so we move from one point to another, but along the same curve. This is called the change in quantity supply. But if we have a change in supply, the whole curve will shift to the right or shift to the left. In fact, the curve not shift. But if we have a change in supply, so we'll have a new curve. This new curve may be on the right of the initial one or may be on the left of the original one. So this is called shifting the curve. So if we have increase in supply, we will have a new curve, new supply curve on the right of the initial one. If we have decrease in supply, we will have a new supply curve on the left of the initial supply or the original supply curve. This is the only supply theory, and next video inshallah we'll study interaction between demand and supply, or what's called the equilibrium in the market. Thank you and have a nice time.